Yo, what's up, everyone? Back for this two-game Thursday slate. Only a tiny two-game slate tonight, but we'll be breaking it down nonetheless. I mean, we're going to be play every slate. So let's get into it. You can like the video down below and subscribe if you haven't already. We got some big injury news already on the slate with Damian Lillard out, Baines is out, Rubio's doubtful. We're still waiting on a bunch with Lonzo Ball's questionable, Simons is questionable, Hassan Whiteside's questionable. Okafor is questionable, so still a lot of questionable pieces. So we'll be posting the final updates and stuff on Twitter throughout the day. Starting off here at point guard, I think this two-game slates are going to be very chalky usually, and this one's going to be especially chalky just because there's just so much obvious plays. At point guard, without Rubio, who's doubtful, definitely want to play Devin Booker here. Just 8,500. Really, really good matchup against this Pelicans team. They play super fast. It's at home. It's going to be high-scoring game. Every team has put up a boatload of points against the Pelicans. They play really no defense whatsoever. They don't have really a rim protector. Hayes is decent at blocking shots, but he's still young. But they don't really have good perimeter defense. Redick plays a bunch more, so they just have a bunch of guys that are not very good at defense, except for Drew Holiday, but he can only do so much. 8,500 for Booker. Flashed some of his upside last time out with 51 fantasy points, and in that game he started off very slow. He's probably going to shift over. He's going to take over a lot more of the ball handling responsibilities. I mean, they might start like Carter, but they might start Carter and play Tyler Johnson, but really Booker's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. Without Rubio, who's doubtful, I don't expect him to play. At shooting guard, CJ McCollum, still 7,500, still a very nice price tag. Price tag has gone down $300. The matchup is definitely tougher than last time, but the Bucks play at a fast pace. He is going to be the source of offense without Lillard there. They're going to need him to play a ton of minutes and just be the number one option. He's going to take 20-plus shots, I would expect, just like last time. We'll probably get more ball handling responsibilities. Hopefully he can dish out more assists. 7,500 is still another guy that's just a lock and load play, him and Booker at the point guard and shooting guard positions. At small forward, I'm loving Brandon Ingram. Price tag is only $7K. I mean, his price tag is way too cheap. He hasn't gotten under 40 fantasy points in 4 straight games that he's played. I mean, he just returned last time out and went right back to work with 20 shot attempts. Got it done with rebounds, assists, steals. So he's still way too cheap. 7K. Matchup is fine here against the Suns. Expecting a high scoring game here. Both defenses are below average, especially the Pelicans defense. So just really, really cheap for Brandon Ingram. You can play him at small forward or power forward, and he's going to play 35, 36 minutes. Even in his first game back, he didn't look limited, and he has a 60-point ceiling, so way too cheap for Ingram. At power forward, definitely love Giannis at the top 10-6 if he can get up there. I'm sure we will be able to once we get the value. I just want to get the clarity on some of the Pelicans' value and the Blazers' value too. So at power forward here, I'm liking Saric, fine option at 5K. He's a little up and down, but without Baines, they're going to need him to play good minutes. Last time out, he just struggled. Only played 21 minutes. Kaminsky, he's going to start at center, I would expect. He's only $4,600. Really, really good play. And then you could go back to Melly here. He's been balling out the last 3 games. 4,500 if Okafor is out again, then makes sense because he's a stretch forward. The Suns have 2 stretch forwards with Kaminsky and Saric, so I would still expect Melly to play his 20 to his 25-ish minutes in this one. And now we get some of the pump plays like Little, Johnson, Anthony. Those 3. Anthony played 24 minutes. He was awful, just 4 of 14. But if the minutes are there, he's probably going to have a good game every once a week. So if you think it's going to be this time out, you can play him. It's going to be a tough matchup against the Bucks. So, but I'm liking Kaminsky here, power forward, just $4,600. Play him at center too. At center, we're waiting on some injury news. If Whiteside's in, decent option at $6,500. I'm interested in Brook Lopez, $5,400. He has like a 40 to 50 point ceiling. Floor is pretty low, but in this matchup, Whiteside's going to struggle to keep up with him at the 3-point line. I mean, they're probably going to have to defend him with somebody else because Whiteside won't be able to defend him there. I think Hayes is a great option. Just want to see if Okafor's out, because if he's in, then we'll probably go to Okafor if he's starting. So we've got to wait on that news. And then if Whiteside is out, then Skal becomes probably the best value play, one of the best value plays on the night. So just want to keep an eye on center. I don't want to narrow down on a pick until we get some of those news. At guard, I'll go back to Bledsoe here. Not back to him, but I'll go to Bledsoe. 6,800. He is playing, he doesn't play a ton of minutes because some of these games are blowouts, but in close games without Chris Middleton for the last couple games, and he's still going to miss quite a bit of time. He's going to see a little bit of bump in usage. He's been pretty aggressive. He's taken about 14, 15, averaging that shot attempts per game. He not a particularly good shooter, but he's good at rebounding, assists for guards. He's great at defensive stats, steals, and blocks. This matchup is amazing against the Blazers. They are terrible against point guards. No Damian Lillard, Anfernee Simons. It just doesn't have the strength to keep up with Bledsoe. Bledsoe can bully him in this game, so price tag is appealing on Bledsoe. The matchup is great as well. And then at utility, I'm just expecting Simons to play. He's only 4,700. This is the first game of the 2-game set, so we'll know for sure if he plays or not. If he's in, then he's still going to be one of my favorite plays. He wasn't great, only had 24 fantasy points, but the minutes were there, 36 minutes. The shot attempts were there. Just, hopefully we'll get a bit more lucky with the field goal percentage shot under 33%. But I think he's a much better player. I think in these situations, you can expect like 30 fantasy points most nights. It was just a bad day for him. At 4,700, I'm not going to hesitate to go back to him, even though the matchup's tougher against the Bucks. Just him and McCollum are going to have to play a lot of minutes at the guard position. And then just loving Booker without Rubio, liking Ingram a lot. If he can't get up to Holiday, play Ingram. So that's early look at Draftkings. And on Fanduel, it's kind of the same story. Point guard, Bledsoe is fine here. On Fanduel, it's going to be tough to use up all your salary. Kind of noticed that. So it's going to be probably a really chalky build on Fanduel if these guys are all in. But like I said, expecting Simons to play. If he's not in, then check the comments for the update. But Simons, 4,800, just really, really good option, especially on Fanduel where you need 2 point guards. Shooting guard is going to be the same 2 guys that I like, McCollum and Booker. I think both guys are just in great spots. Booker, 8,500, going to get a lot more ball handling responsibilities. McCollum, huge uptick in usage, even though the matchup's tough. I think you can expect 40-plus fantasy points from both guys. As small forward here, Giannis is much more expensive on FanDuel at 12.6. Ingram is also much more expensive, but at shooting guard, I am playing McCollum and Booker, most likely. So in that case, it makes sense to play Brandon Ingram here, just because I do expect I expect one of these Pelican stars, him or Drew Holiday, have a big game. If you can't get up to Holiday, on FanDuel, you only get 2 slots, and I kind of prefer Booker and McCollum. It makes sense to play Brandon Ingram here, 8,900, so at least you're getting some exposure to one of those 2 studs for the Pelicans. At 8,900, he has 50-point upside. He is, he didn't miss a beat really. 42 fantasy points, 34 minutes. Just continues trucking along this year. Expect this matchup is fine here against Phoenix. They are banged up in the front court, so he's going to be matched up against Dario Saric. Not a good defender. Love Brandon Ingram, 8,900. And then speaking of Saric, I think he's a fine play at power forward. You only got legitimately, if Hassan Whiteside's in, you have 3 options at power forward on FanDuel. So going to be very, very chalky. You have Saric, Melli, and Kaminsky. Really the only 3 guys you can play. And then if Skal, you can play if Whiteside's out. So going to be a chalky 2-gamer, but Kaminsky is probably my favorite out of those 3 just because he's the cheapest. He will play center, so we get more rebounding opportunities. And if he's going to see probably around 30 minutes, I would expect. Last time out, it was just not a good game script. He struggled early on. But I think in this one, you could expect 25 to 30 minutes at least, just because without Baines, they're going to need Kaminsky to play a lot of minutes and play a lot of the center minutes. So that's 5 guys I like on Fanduel and guys I like on Draftkings. And then center on Fanduel, pretty much the same story, except here Hayes looks a lot more appealing just because Okafor is 46 and Hayes is 5K. So, if Hayes starts, great play. If Okafor's in and he starts, you could go to Okafor. But Hayes at 5,000 is just really appealing, especially you don't have Lopez is much more expensive than him, and Whiteside's much more expensive. So Hayes sticks out at the center position. So that's what I like for FanDuel. This is DraftKings for now. Like I said, we'll update as news breaks. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and good luck on the slate.